Guys, I'm ready to dive freaking deep. I don't do anything but deep, it feels right now. I want to talk about branding. I want to talk about you as a brand because you might think your business brand and you are separate, but I want to tell you that is not true. You are your brand is you. These are the same. There really is no separation of church and state here. Brand you, it's the same. It's all the same, okay? So I really feel like right now is the time that you need to plant your flag, declare, I am the expert, and step up into your platform. We need your voice. It's so important right now. And we need you to serve the world in the biggest way you can. And to do that means you have to step up into your personal brand. That can be a little bit scary, I get it, but this opens you up to a whole new level of opportunity. In today's really crowded job markets, in today's really crowded entrepreneurial spaces, you have to be different. You have to stand out. You have to use your own voice. Personal branding is what does that. You know, you can sit here having seen my Instagram feed a couple times and know I'm sitting here on my farm. You can know these things about people. It's kind of like the insider track. Branding is a really big deal because it makes you stand out from the sea of beige. Because there's a lot of people out there with their brands right now that they are playing in it safe. You know what I mean? They've got the picture perfect Instagram feeds, Facebook feeds. Their life looks hunky freaking dory, and it's like nothing ever bad happens in their life. I could throw up. Like, I'm so tired. So tired. Life isn't like that. We have personal growth challenges we put ourselves through. I wear a freaking bikini on my Instagram feed. I publish posts that make me literally a little bit sick when I hit the publish button because I know posting these things is what makes me stand out in the sea of sameness. You could pick any number of the marketing agencies out there. You could pick any number of the coaches out there. You could pick any number of the spiritual healers out there. But you pick a certain one, don't you? You pick a certain one that you feel connected with, that their message resonates in you. And you pick them because they're like you have something in common, you just like their style, you think they're a badass. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But this branding is so important because of that. So if we're not talking about all of the things, then we're really doing a disservice to our audience. If I just stood here and posted pretty pictures of my garden all day long when it looks perfect after I weed it, I would be doing a disservice to my audience. Because the reality is there's 3 rows full of weeds right now that I haven't even planted anything in, and it's the end of July. So I tell that story, the real story. The other reason why personal branding is really awesome is because it makes you freaking money. Because when you stand out, people want to do business with you because you're a real freaking person, aren't you? You are. I know you are. So when you are a real person, online, in person, should be the same person. So it shouldn't matter if you follow me on Instagram or you show up at my kitchen table, you would get the same thing. I would be the exact same person online that I am offline, off and on, same person. You could show up at my kitchen table and you would see that is totally true. So people want to come and do business with you because they see that you are a real person. They see that they want to do business with you because you're wicked amazing. And that makes it a lot easier to connect with them because they already know you. They already like you. They've been following you for a while, all that kind of stuff. It's way easier to connect with them because of that. And I always love it when somebody comes up to me and we're in person and they're like, I read one of your blog posts, and I'm always like, oh God, which one? And they'll always say like that one that I dug so deep and like tried to explain the motions of and felt like I was kind of bleeding a little bit on the page there. They always say those ones. They don't say like the roundup of Mother's Day cakes I made. Those are not the articles that stick with people. So if we are avoiding those real topics, we're not serving our audience in the best way we can, because they're going through the real topics, guys. The stuff you've already figured out, the stuff you've already lived through, the stuff that you are now the expert at because you have the experience and you're on the other side of it. If we're not sharing those stories when we're in the hospital with the IVs in our hands, this is a big deal, because it means we're doing them a disservice. Now they think they're alone. Now they think no one else has done this, and they think your journey has been easy the whole time. That's not true. I know it's not true. So it's a really big deal to tell these stories. The other reason we need to tell these stories is because you release some of your genius into the world. And I think that means we're raising the vibration of the world, because when we share what we know and the things we learned, we help someone else. And there's this ripple effect thing that happens. I don't know if you know, but then they go help someone else. And then that person helps someone in the Tim Hortons line. And then that person helps someone else. And it creates this massive ripple. It's crazy. So if we don't share the genius and we don't help them, we're doing the whole world a disservice by not stepping into that. So I really want to ask you, why aren't you owning your expertise? Why haven't you planted your flag and said, I am the expert? Does the word expert make you a little bit queasy? Because it made me a little queasy for a while, and that's cool. But there's no piece of paper in the world that is more important than the expertise and the experience you already have. You've already lived it. You already know it. You know it so intimately. You've been there. You've done that. Your brand is you. You are your brand. So let's cut the crap, shall we? We want to see the real stories. And I'm not saying if it's like something really raw that we're going through right now, sometimes it's not time to share that yet. Totally get it. But how about the story like that from a year ago? How about the story that you're a little further beyond? Can we tell that one? Can we show the photo of it? Can we write the story? Can we do a YouTube video about it? Can we hop on Facebook Live and be like, hey, I want to tell you the story. I sat here and told you the story about how I shit-canned my $80,000 a year government job. I've never told that story before. I've told it here or there to very trusted people. I've never actually sat there and rambled that whole story out. These are the courageous steps that we have to take to really step in and own our expertise. We've got to do it. I have a brand new course I'm so excited about that is talking about how you can do this, how you can step into your own expertise, you can really own it. And so I am working on it right now, which is super important. And I look forward to sharing it with you really soon. But for the love of God, would you please put up a real post this week in some way, shape, or form? If you do, please tag me. I will come and love up and down your post about the realness of your journey. Bye, guys. See you next time.